Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NVNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
Go Big Red. Indeed, no block, no rock. Episode 268 coming at you from the Sinovation Studio in Omaha, Nebraska. First, before we get started on Nebrasketball being ranked.
Let's go.
And football things.
All the football things.
There's a lot of football things to talk about.
Let's talk about our sponsor, Heavy Brewing, based out of Gretna, Nebraska. Fellas, we are drinking what's called the Belgian Killer. Belgian Killer. And Connor, I know that you're the I guess expert.
I wouldn't use the word expert. I would say experienced.
You're an experienced craft beer guy.
Yeah.
How would you describe this Belgian Killer?
So it's a Belgian Golden Strong, which is already a style I love. It's going to be a little floral. It's got a lot. This is a very deep profile. I'm going to get really nerdy.
Oh shit.
But it's just really well balanced. And for Belgians, kind of what you look for is this kind of bubblegummy taste coming from the yeast that's used.
Okay.
And it comes through and it's not overpowering. This for me, and I'm not doing this just because they're a sponsor, 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
I not only would I say I'd drink it again, this isn't even the first time I've drank it. It's just a good beer.
Yeah, it's a fantastic beer. Initially, right when we opened it, I was like, this kind of has a little bit of like that Hefeweizen smell a little bit. It's got like that
yeah.
And that's like my style. And I immediately drank it. I was like, oh, that's good. It doesn't taste like a hef, but it tastes really good.
Yeah, aromas will be pretty similar between like the Belgian and German hefs. Like they're not right on, but they're similar.
Yeah. So get yourself to Heavy Brewing in Gretna, Nebraska. You got awesome beer names. We got another one in the fridge called Creepy Dunkel.
Have you seen the logo for that one too?
It's pretty funny.
The logo's pretty funny.
The logo.
Come get some candy.
Yeah, isn't it a van just like with blacked out windows and it's all like beat up and
Oh yeah.
creepy looking?
Creepy.
Don't go in that van.
We got a lot of people in the chat already.
Already.
Bad mouthing Connor's mustache.
Sure.
We've got our good friend Mark Johnson in here saying it's not a pals. I think he meant pills. And then we got Paul Kavalak in here that says sup. What's going on, PK?
Who's bad mouthing my mustache already? We just
that
started.
was Brandon Riggle. So
Brandon, what the hell?
We just speak truth on this pod, man.
Hey, that's okay.
Hey,
And that's what we're here to do.
hey, speaking of like ruffling feathers, let's ruffle some Blue Jay feathers.
Woo!
Shall we?
Oh yeah.
71-50. Mike, you went to the game last night.
Hell yeah, I went to the game yesterday.
So like, I don't know. It seemed I felt like the crowd was like good.
Oh, it was really good.
Oh,
But didn't it seem a little bit muted just because the game wasn't really a game?
dude, everything I saw, and Mike, you're gonna have to speak to this with your in-person experience.
yes.
The vibes seem to have been insanely high.
Yes. They the entire game, like it was never a game.
Right.
That was the funny part was at one point Nebraska was up like 15-2 or something. Creighton could not buy a bucket, and that continued throughout the entire game. Like you thought eventually, because sometimes Creighton took decent looks and just nothing could fall. Nothing
Brick,
at all.
brick.
They didn't have their tiny point guard shooting from half court, making threes, bailing them out. They didn't have Kalkbrenner. Oh wait, same thing. Their big men still did nothing, just like Kalkbrenner could do nothing on us last year. And it was a good day to wear red.
Dude, they had wide open shots that were just like hitting the side of the backboard.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like I know I said this after the football team played Houston Christian in Akron, and I said, I kind of felt sorry for the opponent. And it kind of got to that point
No.
for Creighton a little bit.
Absolutely not.
Never.
You know our friends that are just certified J-skers that just man, Nebrasketball this, Nebrasketball that.
Yeah.
Roll away, November champions again.
Tournament win.
Yeah, this blah blah blah.
This is your Super Bowl.
This is, yeah.
Mike.
Guess what?
Mike, what do you say to them?
Guess what? 71-50, 21 points.
And
What?
3 of 4.
Three of the
and
last four.
yeah. And we sent Coach McDermott off into retirement. You know, with another Nebraska dub.
So you think this was the nail in the coffin for him? You think this kind of solidified? I think maybe my time has passed. For Big Mac.
I just honestly, from watching Creighton, the little bit that I have watched them this year, they just don't look like a good basketball team.
No.
Like I know what bad basketball looks like, guys. I've had season tickets for Nebraska basketball for 8 years. I know what bad basketball looks like. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's what Creighton basketball looks like this year. They look terrible.
I think another important thing to talk about is Nebraska basketball is ranked in 3 different ways. Men's at 23, women's at 24, and then the third just being rank masked. Just what a man.
Yeah.
I actually, the night before the game, talked about, I was asked, like, how do you see the Nebraska Creighton game going? And I said, I think at that time, I said Nebraska wins by 5, but rank masked has a massive role in that win. Obviously, they won by more than 5, and rank masked still just showed out.
20 points and 5 rebs.
Yeah, I mean, just a phenomenal game.
How much did we miss that guy last year, dude? Oh my God.
I don't think it, like, nobody really knew. Like, they talked about like how much it sucked not having him out there, and then you watch him just come back out there and like fully healthy now, and it's just like he never left.
Yeah,
like the way that he can run a 0.5 or a 0.4 and just, I mean, the offense just looks so nice. And then you talk about like Price Sanford, who just the fastest trigger I've ever seen for a guy that like long and lanky. Sam Hahn was sitting behind me at the game, and he asked me before the game even started, he goes, why is Bear Cape in the game? And I said, Sam, Bear Cape's in for a couple of reasons. I was like, 1, he gets rebounds.
Yes.
And 2, if he doesn't get the rebound, he's the reason we get the rebound from somebody else.
Battling.
And it's effort. And of course he has to shoot like really bad threes. That's part of his brand. So I told him that, and immediately, like, we're in the middle of the game, he's like, you're right. He already almost has a double-double at halftime. I was like, yes, that is why Bear K is a king.
Yes, Bear K, for every bad shot you take, I need you to get 5 rebounds. Like, that's got to be the ratio.
He seems like he's doing it.
He did a really good job.
That's one thing, too, that I want to be very clear when people tweet about. Like, there's been a lot of buzz around Nebraska basketball. Nebrasketball. Spell ranked right when you talk about us, because it ain't R-A-N-K anymore. That's not how we're spelling it. It's R-I-E-N-K. I actually, it was R-E-I, I thought.
R-E-I.
Yeah, it's R-E-I.
The website has me backwards then. Because I looked it up. I thought it was R-I-E. I for sure thought it was R-E-I, and then I got corrected.
It's R-I-E.
Yeah, see?
I-E, like example, like I-E.
I already got corrected on this. That's
R-I-E-N-K.
Yeah, that's what we said.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what we all said.
Yeah.
Was it?
We all said that.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
R-I-E.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's when you have those Nordic guys on your team, your basketball team, instead of on the offensive line on the football team. No, but like, so we shouted out rank. Shout out freaking Sam Hoiberg, right?
The pest. The defensive pest.
God, this is the freaking junkyard dog.
Coach's son.
Jim Rat. First one in, last one out. White guy that can shoot and get layups over just large man.
I think that's something that people are going to notice when Sam Hoiberg is gone. That it's going to be noticeable, and I wish. Like, I know we talk about Sam Hoiberg very frequently, and it's not because we want to make the joke about coach's son, whatever, but because of his role here for this team. I don't think he gets enough credit. I really don't.
That's fair.
And I think that's going to be something when he's gone that people will realize, and they'll suddenly start questioning, like, where was this? Like, where did this come from?
Well, I will say, I understand what you're saying, but we do have 2 Sam Hoibergers on the team because Cale Jacobson is like we have at some points we have two Sam Hoibergers on the court at the same time. The effort, the ability to guard anybody, even if they're 7 inches taller than you, it's I don't even know if it's coachable. It's just
innate.
It's just like heart and desire, and then the fact that Sam now is starting to come into his own as like an actual offensive weapon, because before it was just like, hey, Sam's gonna go out there, he's gonna be your Energizer bunny. He's gonna get things going. He's gonna make some plays. He's gonna slide around the court. But now, I mean, we have 2 of those guys. So I understand what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's gonna really suck when Sam's gone, and I agree with that. But Cale Jacobs is only a junior, and I think we're in good hands as far as like that tenacity that he kind of brings to this team. The fact that we have Cale that can now follow in the footsteps and do it this year, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like on a lot of defensive possessions, there's someone getting a hand on a ball somewhere, and just kind of speaks overall to, Hoiberg, Fred, like, man,
he can coach.
All credit to the world. Okay. I wrote him off after maybe his 5th year of just bad basketball. Right. And we had a lot of what's the sample size? It's like, oh my gosh, they just seem like they're not going to get through the hump here. But he's completely changed the identity of his team's defense. Like, when they have energy, they are suffocating the other team. Just like they did last night against Creighton. Even when it seemed like they had shots, it just seemed like Creighton was always worried about, oh my God, Cale Jacobson's coming.
Where's he at?
Where's Sam? Right. And so they just looked all out of sorts. And I get Creighton is not, teams of Creighton past.
They are not good. They're not a good team.
But I mean, all credit to Hoiberg, Coach Hoiberg, for just changing the philosophy and the identity.
Which is what we talk about a lot.
People say that's an overused term.
No, it's not.
Like, it's not, man.
No, it's not.
When you know who you are and you play into it, defense first really seems to have turned around this program, man.
Well, and so I would say I had this idea of Fred Hoiberg for the longest time, seeing him as the mayor over in Ames. I always kind of looked at him as he was great at polishing. Like, players were coming in with raw talent, he was polishing them, and he was having great teams. And I thought, again, for those first few years here at Nebraska, we got a coach that can polish, but we're starting with Cole. And you polish Cole, it's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
But over the last year and a half, hell, we can call it 2.5 years, we're actually starting to see Sam Hoiberg, I feel like, is kind of an unfair comparison because it is his son. He's around him all the time. But we're seeing real development, like, through these players. It's not just polishing anymore. And while it's not perfect, sure, we're 9-0, and that's a perfect record. Is this a team that I feel has made actual development as opposed to just polishing what we already had? I would say absolutely.
Well, in an era, especially in college basketball, of all the sports, the one and dones and the transfer portal and this and that, and Fred has done a really good job of utilizing the transfer portal.
Yeah,
but I feel like that culture thing and having an identity, he's going after pieces that work with that identity, and he's taking guys that only work with the identity in the culture. And so in an era where you're gonna have turnover and you're gonna have the portal taketh and giveth, it's pretty nice that Fred can go get a guy like Price Sanford, who just is literally plug and play and just meshes so well, and it feels like he's been here for 4 years. And he was a Hawkeye, and he looks damn good in red. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, dude, it's just a nice team. You got good leadership on this team. They're ranked 23rd, longest winning streak in the nation. Bitches. I like this team, man.
Yeah. Did you see Dirk's tweet about that? And people were getting all upset.
Dude,
they didn't really understand it. They were like, Dirk was like, man, Nebraska has the longest winning streak in college basketball. I think people are they're going to start questioning the non-con because it's just too easy. and people are getting all mad about it. Like, oh, Dirk, you're so negative. No, he's just saying Creighton sucks. And we dominated Creighton. And we dominated, we beat an SEC team. We beat a Big East team. We beat a Big 12 team. What are you supposed to do? What else are you supposed to do?
You play the people on your schedule. We say this about every sport.
Yeah.
I mean, we do this all the time. The schedule wasn't set by the players. It wasn't set by Fred. Play the guys that are on their schedule. And what they're doing, again, I didn't think I mean, we put belt to ass on Creighton.
Indeed.
Belt to ass.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but that tells me like this team really does deserve the recognition. They do deserve to be in this 25. I did find something very interesting. So men's basketball, Nebrasketball, ranked at 23 at 9-0. Do you want to know the next 9-0 team in the top 25? What they're ranked? It's number 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's number 4.
There isn't a lot of undefeated teams left. I think there's like 5,
There,
maybe.
there are 5,
Yeah.
including us.
So that, I mean, that's good.
Got off to a great start.
They're off to every perfect start.
Big 10 plays coming up.
Yes.
So all the doubters that are, will they still? Okay. I mean, we will see.
We'll see.
And at the same time, right, they're playing Wisconsin. They're playing Illinois. Just because, like, let's say they go to Illinois and they lose, that doesn't just automatically mean that they suck or that they're pretenders. Illinois is still a good team.
Right.
So
Hey.
don't just be like, if they lose to Illinois, oh, goddamn, oh, they're fake. Well, just relax because Illinois is still a good team.
Would they say that about Ohio State losing the Big Ten championship to Indiana?
Jesus.
Would they freak out and say, Ohio State's not a good team? Like you
That's-
just, it's a
some
good
would.
team. I mean, granted, I mean, we're talking about behemoths of one sport to, you know, we're figuring these programs out, or at least Nebraska.
Yeah.
But like good teams lose to good teams. That happens.
Oh no, man! I was listening to the radio the morning after that game, and one of the first things I hear from this edgy radio guy was
Oh.
"Crying Ryan Day."
Shut
Oh
up.
my God! Just relax. He won a natty last
Yeah.
year.
God.
Just chill out.
And I'll tell you what, they're going to win the Natty this year.
probably,
They probably will. But I will say, Big Sig is an elite coach. If you didn't already know that, you know, I want let's pause for a second, guys.
Pause.
Listen to this. The reason we're doing that is we have 2 super chats that I want to get to.
Yeah, get them in
Because
here.
they're saying nice things and they are giving us some of their hard-earned money, and we appreciate you being in here
Hell yeah.
and supporting us, doing what we love to do. From Moby Madness, he says, thanks for all the therapy this year. This has really helped my improve my Nebraska fandom. I think you meant, yeah, it helped me improve my Nebraska fandom. So, yeah.
Right on.
Shout out. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. And another super chat here from Scott Bocher with $5. He said, crazy what happens when a coach figures it out and uses all the portal properly. Meanwhile, Matt is wandering around aimlessly.
Oh no.
We will see. So, Scott, the portal does open for football January 1st.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling Nebraska is going to be very active. So maybe we'll pump the brakes on how he does. If you want to talk about what he's done, you know, in his tenure so far, I think he's done some good and he's done some shit.
I was gonna say we start off with Nebrasketball, and largely this is gonna be, in my estimation, a largely positive episode. I mean, the past few weeks have been just painful, right? So I think this is going to be like the first overall positive episode.
The positive part.
Yeah, I don't have much negative to say right now.
And so I guess we start with, not that we're celebrating people losing their jobs, even though these are coaches that make a lot of money and they will be okay.
Did you guys? I have a feeling you're referencing some comments that I saw.
Go on.
Of people when we cheersed, I think it was last week, to the Butler firing.
Well, sure.
Well, you know
And they're
what?
like, "Oh, you guys are celebrating a man's downfall." That man got paid a lot of money,
Dude, yeah, that's the profession. Like, I'm sorry when people feel bad that somebody gets fired. Oh, I'm sorry. He got fired and he made $2 million working at Nebraska. Oh, what a poor guy. And he's gonna go get another job where he's gonna make $500,000 or $600,000. Poor guy.
He's going to find an NFL job next
He
year.
has no ties to
Oh.
Nebraska. He was only here to be a coach here. It's not like
Mike.
who cares? It's part of the business. He knows that. We know that. Get over it.
Mike, do you want to know what the best 2 jobs in the world are? Number 1 is fired head coach.
Yeah.
Number 2 is fired coordinator.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he's super rich and he doesn't have to work. Oh yeah, let me feel bad for that guy.
Oh, poor guy.
Tell you what, I would have felt good for him if he did a good job and we continued to pay him.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that, so we're not.
Oh, no, failing
But they
upwards.
act like we're insulting these people personally.
Right.
What we're saying is this had to happen for this program to move forward. And I don't want to shock any of you two. This is not a John Butler podcast. What? It's a Husker Sports podcast. I don't give a shit who's at the helm as long as we can win games.
Our defense gave up 77 points the last 2 weeks, and I feel so bad for our DC.
Oh, my God. I loved somebody brought up, it was like, oh, the only reason he got fired was because we let up 40 to Iowa. And I said, oh, yeah, nothing to say about Penn State or Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to say about, like, when we played games that Minnesota, we certainly should have won. Penn State, with the tornado that was going on over there, should have been at least competitive. You get mollywopped. Iowa, we understood. Like,
no, not the. I mean, we knew
not the ass beating that we got.
We knew the belt to ass was coming to us. We told you. We warned you guys.
Yeah, we were bracing for it.
We knew.
But yeah, when you get multiple of those, and again, Minnesota, frankly, actually, no, Penn State being the most offensive, but Minnesota right at number 2 to me. It's not just about Iowa.
No, but I still think Minnesota is the worst loss under the Matt Rule era. Minnesota this year, and I wrote an article about it. You guys can go back and watch it. Sports Nebraska on SI.
Watch it.
Go back and watch
go read it.
Watch
it.
my article.
Sorry, my apologies. That game was the worst game I've ever seen under Matt Rule. And it still is. And you know why? Because John Butler called the defense, and he called it like a pussy. I'm just saying. He did.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that Minnesota loss, really bad. And it's like the catalyst for a lot of the changes that we're seeing. I feel like once that game happened, Rule was like, okay, no, this cannot go on.
Right.
And the Butler comments after certainly didn't help, but I just think the way that that game went and some of the things that Rule said, even about the coaches, how he had to talk them into taking Minnesota seriously. You guys recall that?
Concerning.
I have to imagine Rule's like, fuck this. No. This is my, I guess, legacy. This is my ass on the line. This cannot pass.
Well, and Jared, you tweeted it out from our account right after the Rule press conference last week, because that was after we did our show. But he specifically told you why John Butler got fired. John Butler, and I appreciate him for his honesty, but he did sit up in front of the media last week, or the week of Iowa, and he pretty much made excuses on why this defense isn't good or isn't able to stop the run. And it's because he's saying that we have to go get guys into the portal because the guys that he has aren't developed enough to stop it. And he can't schematically stop the run. And he's giving too many other resources to try to stop the run. And that's why the pass and everything else just went crazy. Right.
Yeah.
But you can't look, the fan base, you can't look these people in the eye and tell them our players aren't good enough. And Matt Rule said, no coach can tell me my guys aren't good enough.
You can't work for me.
You can't work for me. And that is 100% part of the reason John Butler got fired.
Sure.
He told everybody that his players weren't good enough. And that was why.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So we did come in maybe 5 minutes ago saying that we did not have a lot of negative things to say today.
Nope.
I have one big positive. Well, I have more than one, but one that I want to address right now.
The positive boy.
We have a new defensive coordinator.
Okay. That gets me into what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did hire two coaches.
Yeah.
And as we get to talking about them, I want you guys, and I want everybody in the chat. So we've got, almost 150 people in the chat right now. I want everybody in the chat to drop your grades on the hires that were made by Matt Rule this weekend. So give us your grade of what, the O-line coach and the defensive coordinator, and we'll read them off and we'll give ours as well.
So offensive line. Gideon Pillow. Wade the fourth. That's his name.
That is crazy. That's why he goes by Jeep.
That's kind of a sick name. I'm not gonna lie.
It's an awesome name.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And his picture is just it's so derpy. I love it. I love it. I think that seeing his picture and his name has certainly raised my grade. I'm at a B+, considering this is a big if this signals a change in the offensive identity, if we start to run a Georgia Tech-esque type of offense where we get a Haynes King-esque type of quarterback.
Like Brennan Sorsby?
Like, hopefully this will result in a trickle effect of a change in the offensive identity. So that's why Jeep, or I should say Gideon Pillow, fucking Pillow.
Hopefully,
Cool name.
You know how that's.
Love that he's
You
the
already know.
fourth.
there's going to
too.
be so many memes if our O-line sucks.
If it doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why Gideon Pillow Wade, the fourth, as of now, for me is a B+,
B+.
with the hope that this will result in a change in the offensive philosophy and identity.
Connor, let's
So-
talk about Pillow. Mr. Pillow.
Mr.
Yeah.
Pillow.
So I'm also at a B+. But before we started the episode, I said that it's difficult for me, I think right now, to be super objective because we're in the honeymoon phase. And frankly, Donnie Raiola, thank you for your time here at Nebraska.
Yeah.
It wasn't good enough.
Do we cheers that or what?
Yeah.
You know what? There's
Yeah.
one good thing to cheers about Donnie Raiola. No matter what year it was, the last 3 games of the season were always the best
Yeah, I'm
played games by the offensive line. Now, was there some other things that played into that, scheme and, having a backup quarterback and having a guy that's a little bit more mobile and all these other things? But I will say, although John Butler got fired because he coached his worst games of his tenure, his last 2 games, Donnie coached his best 2 games this year and got fired. So cheers to Donnie for finishing strong.
Yes.
But strong, not strong enough.
Yes, Donnie.
Yeah,
For 9 games each year, the offensive line.
Yeah.
But hey, we will always have the last 3 games.
Well, so to that point, like with Donnie, it always felt like, again, every year he was here, it was like that ass end of the season where things felt like they were getting figured out. But then at the start of the next season, we were back to square one,
Yep.
just like we were the season prior.
Yep.
Why can we not maintain any part of that? So I harbor no ill will towards Donnie Raiola. But again, like I'm in a honeymoon phase where I feel like this is an upgrade. I'm going to call it a B flat.
Just a B flat for Mr. Pillow.
So no Jeep bump. No,
No, the name is cool, but I even with my honeymoon phase, I'm trying to walk back how optimistic I am.
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. As far as my grade goes for Mr. Jeep, Mr. Pillow, I'm going to give it an A-. I think that Matt Rule, he said when he got hired in Nebraska that he wanted to be a tough running team. And although the OC hire that he made really contradicts that, I think this year we saw, a Nebraska team that did have an identity of running the football despite them not wanting to do it and not accepting that identity. And I think hiring a guy like Mr. Jeep and Mr. Pillow, I think it's really good. He is, if you go look at his tenure and his history as an O-line coach, although he's not, putting tons of guys in the NFL, he's coaching up guys that are 2- and 3-star players and making them all conference caliber. So that's exactly what we need at that position, because I feel like Donnie Raiola just wasn't developing the guys. I think our guards and centers played fine with Donnie as our O-line coach.
Dude, it's the tackles.
But it's the tackles. And I think, and that's the most important position. That's your blind side. That's the most important position when you're trying to pass the ball.
When you're trying to set an edge.
And everything, like 9 sacks against Minnesota will tell you everything you need to know. I just think that is a guy that has had less tools to work with and has made chicken salad out of chicken shit. And then now he's getting real guys like that are highly touted and have really good measurables. And so imagine what he could do with that. So that's why I really like the hire. I'm going to give it an A-. I would maybe give it an A, but I think there could have been. The reason I don't give it an A is it could go to an A if he brings the.
But you're being cautious.
I am cautious because I've been beaten and battered by hires in the past. But if he starts bringing some of his guys from Georgia Tech, a couple of his O-linemen that are maybe going to go to the portal, that might jump up to an A just because we got to get some tackles.
So the other thing that I do like is whether we've recruited a player or we've hired a coach, a lot of the time you will ask yourself, if they didn't have this last name, would you have hired them? If they didn't have this last name, would you have recruited them? If they didn't have this connection, would you have hired them? So with Jeep, he has coached with Satterfield before.
Yeah.
And he has coached with Glenn Thomas before. The thing that I ask myself is, okay, if he didn't have those connections, would Rule still have hired him? And there's a inkling of me that's like, yes, because of the Georgia Tech kind of.
Yeah.
There's qualifications.
Yeah, the Georgia Tech, what they're known for. So there's like, that's another reason why my grade's kind of high is there is a world where they hire this guy based off of the Georgia Tech results alone. And you probably didn't need the Satterfield or Glenn Thomas seal of approval necessarily.
Well, and he did have some, his O-line was a finalist for the
Joe Moore
Award. So that's pretty good.
That's a solid sign.
And that is Power 4 football.
Sure.
So I'm just saying they do have a really good quarterback, but their O-line did play really good this year. So
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I was prepping my grade because I had to refresh. I had to make sure that the stats I was going to drop on our next grade were correct.
Rob Ulrich.
Hold on, let me read some of the grades that we got in the chat too.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we had Carl Adamson. He said B. We've got Mark. He gave Mr. Pillow A-, solid B+. We got a C from Justin.
A C, okay.
Yep. We got a B- from Scott. B+, C+ from Mark, and that's it. So
no overly positive.
Yeah,
but no overly negative.
A- is the best, and
Those are all passing grades.
yeah, they're all passing grades. They're not bad.
C's get degrees, baby.
Hey, I know all about it.
But can C's win conference championships?
Oh no, absolutely not.
No, we're gonna need some A's for that.
All right. Rob Ulrich announced last night during the Nebrasketball domination of Creighton.
While Matt Rule was on the court.
Wild.
Yeah.
Matt Rule was courtside.
Silly.
Planned.
So my grade right now, I'm at a C.
Oh yeah, that's mine too.
C-.
Okay, now we're different.
And it's not that I'm negative. It's just going in, I would have liked someone with some Big Ten experience. I get to thinking about what Matt Rule said the day that he had his press conference last week. He was talking about the defense and how the scheme is secondary from the attitude and the playing with your hair on fire. And so with this Rob Ulrich from San Diego State, I'm hoping that he is a young whippersnapper that might not be an X's and O's genius, but is able to whip the guys into shape and have these guys playing from sideline to sideline and wanting to knock heads off. So, yeah, we could have let's hire Jim Knowles, whose schemes are really complicated and they work really well when you have 5 stars all over the damn field. With this guy, it kind of seems like a 180 a little bit from John Butler. John Butler came from the NFL. John Butler worked with professionals that didn't need a lot of development. And I feel like with Ulrich, it's kind of a 180 where Ulrich's kind of green. He doesn't have a ton of experience. He's got to work with lower level players, and development is his main thing. And so I think of what Rule said about Butler and being, I guess, toxic. I don't know. Maybe Butler expected to have better players.
Well, he's only coached the NFL, so yeah, he coaches the best of the best.
And so with Ulrich, he's not expecting to have professionals on the roster to work with. So that gives me a little bit of positivity.
So you mentioned a 180. Frankly, I would have preferred kind of a 180. You know what Ulrich likes to run?
4-2-5.
4-2-5.
Well, he also runs a lot of 3-man fronts.
Yeah.
He does like it.
But it's always the disclaimer.
Yeah.
You're always kind of
But so one thing before I give you my grade is at San Diego State last season, not this current one, they finished the season as 97 ranked defense. Where do you think they finished this year per NCAA stats?
5th.
It was number 5.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. That is nothing to scoff at. There is something to be said about their strength of schedule.
Yes.
There is absolutely something to be said. Now, that strength of schedule number didn't jump so crazy that you would expect 92 spots. Like, that's a very, very large jump.
But that strength of schedule was like bottom 5.
It was not good.
They played a lot of tomato cans.
Yes, I agree with that. But 92 spots in defense is a very, very large jump. For me, because he does like to focus on development, and that is something that with this very young defensive line, we've talked about they're young, they're undersized. Focusing on development, I think right now is not going to be a year one fix, but a long-term fix. I have this as another flat B.
Okay.
So C minus, B.
And I'm a C.
Okay.
And the reason you talked about, the inexperience is a big thing for me. And I was really like, when I wrote an article last week about Matt Rule, John Butler had to be fired and the next defensive coordinator has to be at a home run, because this defensive coordinating position is going to dictate Matt Rule's tenure at Nebraska. Matt Rule just hired probably his last defensive coordinator at Nebraska.
Oh,
you would
certainly.
think, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, because with Mr. Ulrich being very young, I think we could take care of him for a long time. And
provided he does the job.
Yeah, if he does his job well, I think Nebraska will keep him as long as they can. And if he doesn't perform well, I think then Matt Rule will no longer be employed at Nebraska. So I think giving it a C, not only is the inexperience, and I do love the jump, and I think that coaching, even if you look at like Signetti, for instance, he was coaching at lower levels, and look, that transitioned to Big Ten football and Power 5 football really easily. Now is it going to work with this guy? I have no idea. But one thing that I really don't love about hiring a guy from San Diego State is, who the hell is he going to bring with him? You go get a guy like Jim Knowles. Okay, go bring some kids from Penn State over here. You'll get a guy from San Diego State.
Right.
Who the hell is he going to bring over here that's better than what we have?
Well, hey, I know you're probably finishing a thought, but if you're on the Twitter sphere, you're seeing some San Diego State Aztecs being thrown around, right? This guy has 4 sacks. He's a sophomore. And listen, if they come to the Big Ten, they're not going to be as good.
Right.
They're just not. They're not.
Look at Watson Trent.
And hopefully, let's say you do get some Aztecs. I hope you don't have to pay a whole lot for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be insulting, but if they come from the Mountain West to the Big Ten and you're expecting them to replicate what they did,
you're misguided
against those tomato cans.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
You are, and I've said this, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The Big Ten is the NFL of the NCAA. I mean, this is where the best coaches are. It's where the best lines are. Like, this is where shit's going to get really hard. Like, I'm not saying that players that are playing in these lower conferences aren't good. They're certainly more athletic than I am. But just to look at it on its face, this is the NFL of the NCAA. Like, you have to be the top 1% of these athletes. To make it to the NFL, you got to be top 1 of top 1. To play in the Big Ten, you got to be top 1% here. It's just very difficult. Yeah. And I think we saw a lot of issues with, not that I want to talk down on this year's Nebraska team. We weren't that top 1%, and it showed.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? If he can take a defense and make it, from 90s to top 10 or whatever it is, and that tells me that he can get guys to play higher than what their ceiling is. And hopefully that's what he does at Nebraska. It's just, he's going to need some other guys along the way. I know some people are dropping the Elijah Robinson thing in the chat saying, Lane Kiffin, D-line coach, he has he's worked with Rule before, and Lane Kiffin still hasn't signed the dotted line with him yet, and there's some other things like that. So I don't know if that happens. I'd be a little bit more excited.
Sure,
but and then you do still have you've got Addison Williams here, who has been a defensive coordinator, and you're gonna have Phil Snow to look over his shoulder.
Phil Snow, the GOAT.
We saw how well that went this year. So
he's gonna shut down Utah, baby.
Yeah, no, he's not.
No.
So I don't know. I am intrigued about the hire. I think the ceiling is very high, but I think the floor is very low. And
sure,
it's just a crapshoot.
It's very risky for Matt Rule to make a hire like this, given it is year 4 Matt Rule now.
Is risky.
That's risky as hell.
And if you say this is a risky hire, you will have people out there that push back and say, yeah, but what about Sig? Here's my answer to that.
He's a unicorn.
Sig, he is an old guy. He has been around the block. He's done a lot of coaching. He coached under Saban for like 4 years. Like, this isn't just, it's not like Cignetti just came out of nowhere and was just a James Madison. Okay. Like, he's almost 65 years old. I feel like he's an alien. He's an alien. Cignetti's an alien. And the Indiana Hoosiers are made up of just aliens. They're the Monstars. There's something going on there. It's fucking freaky. So don't throw out Sig. There's a reason why you keep saying Sig, because there's no other coaches that you can point to, right?
So I'm racking my brain right now, like, to give a comparison to what Cignetti has done at Indiana. The closest I think I can think of is Sark at Texas. And Sark, they missed the fucking playoffs this year. Like,
and Texas has every 5-star.
Yeah.
But like, they have more talent than Indiana has ever had.
Yeah. And that's the closest I can get, is a program that has more money than God, and they have more talent than most teams in the country. And I have to go to that extreme. Like, I don't like when people are like, well, why can't we just get a Cignetti? Because no more of them exist. It's one guy.
He's a unicorn, man.
It's one guy.
He looked you in the camera and told you, I win, Google me. And everybody laughed. Oh, Indiana hired another coach. They're a basketball school. And guess what? He looked and he said, all right, watch.
Or year 2. Watch year 2.
Watch year 2.
It's not going to be as good as year 1. Oh, my God.
It's better.
He is going to go down. And I know this sounds hyperbolic, but like, do we say he's like one of the greatest coaches of all time?
Not yet.
If Sig wins a natty, I think he literally has a fast track to like Mount Rushmore of college football coaches.
Jesus.
Fast because of what he did in this era.
I would absolutely disagree.
Okay, but think about this. College football has changed so much in the last 5 years.
Sure.
It's not the same sport as it was 30 years ago, right? And you talk about all these GOATs that we have.
Tom Osborne,
the Nick Sabans of the world, right? They worked in a different game. The fact that he is the best coach in this game of NIL and transfer portal and everything else, tells me that he would fast track as one of the best coaches in college football history, because this is a new era of college football. And he's the king of it.
No.
In my opinion, if he wins a natty with Indiana, I'm sorry.
I would tell you.
He could retire. He could retire because he's 65. He could retire if they win a natty, and he'll be up there.
I think if he retires at the mountaintop, the discussion then becomes, what could he have done? Like, could he have sustained the success? What I don't like is when he did that Google Me interview, I had this conversation last night. I looked at that and was like, what a douchebag. That guy sucks. And for 2 years in a row, he's proved to me I should have Googled that guy.
Yeah.
But to say he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, I would disagree with. To say, and when I say modern era, I'm talking NIL era, transfer portal era. If you wanted to say he's on a fast track to being one of the best coaches in this era, I would agree with you. I would absolutely
if
agree.
he wins a natty with Indiana, he is the best coach in this era.
They did just win their first conference title at Indiana since 1965 and the first non-shared since 1947. That's a big step for an Indiana football program that, frankly, I never even really thought about before Cignetti got there. Right. I never cared about Indiana football. He absolutely has put his name on the big board for top coaches of the NIL and transfer portal era, but I will not listen to an argument of all time.
I'm just saying fast track. That's what I'm saying. Hey, hold on 1 second. Breaking news.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
We got a super chat here from our good friend Adam Halpern.
Yes.
Threw a 1999 in here for, he said Mendoza's postgame interview was cringe as fuck.
That's awesome.
Don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
The guy is way over the top. I don't disagree, but the fact that a guy like that can ball out like that at Indiana, I know he was okay at Cal, but the fact that he was able to get into that system with Cignetti and just elevate them even more. Mm-hmm. Like their quarterback was good last year. Rourke or whatever his name was. And guess what? Yeah. Mendoza might be the first pick in the draft now because that's how good he's playing for Coach Sig. So I agree, though. Dude sounded like he was going through puberty.
Praise God.
Hey, you want to hear me out? I love that interview.
Well, sure.
I love it.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. He is a weirdo. But when you look at some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, they're all fucking psychos, dude. They're all weird.
A guy like that
yeah,
will slit your throat in your sleep.
All to get 6 points. Yeah. That's all he wants.
He's a psycho.
He's a psycho.
Yeah.
So it's cringy. It's weird. But that tells me that kid's I'm sorry, is it Killa? Killa.
He's a killer.
He's a killer
for
sure.
I'm like, it's a weird interview, but my Lord, as like looking at QBs, I want a weirdo.
You know what? I think from now on, and KB's going to have to do this when he gets back because this is normally his spot. But I think anytime we get a super chat from now on, we're going to hit the Troy button.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
Because I think that's like it fits perfect.
Or show me the money.
Well, no, it doesn't fit our vibe. I think Mr. Troy Walters, we get a super chat. We're hitting the Troy Walters.
That's fine.
We got to say no block, no rock. I think it's cool.
No,
I think it's cool shit.
So hey, if let's circle back to
like a circle,
a team that's not quite on Indiana's level.
Oh, you're talking about Nebraska?
Talking about Nebraska.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Ohio State.
No, Ohio State wasn't either.
Let's circle back to a team that's quite not on Ohio State's level either.
Yeah, all of them.
So I guess with Rob Ulrich, I think maybe, and here Mike's going to get some heavy brewing.
That is the Pills
goodness.
Popper.
Pills Popper. I guess what I'm expecting now is if you're going to hire a guy like this, don't you have to see immediate, like game one, you're seeing a defense that is borderline insane. A defense that is noticeably flying around, keeping it simple. We've said for a long time that the last thing that a defender ever wants to do is overthink, right? Oh my God, what gap do I need to fill? What do I need to set the edge? Go out, simple defense, right? Fly around, knock heads off, maybe get flagged for targeting a few times, whatever, because nobody knows what targeting is anyway.
It's fake.
So if you're going to hire a guy like this, it has to be noticeable. If we're slow and plotting and guys aren't filling their run gaps or they're not setting the edge, what are we doing here? Why are we making this higher then?
I think what it has to be is confident play.
Right.
If you make a mistake, but you make it confidently, that's still in a weird way going to be a good sign for me.
Dare I say, no fear of failure.
Yeah.
Is that still okay to say around here?
I think that's what it's going to have to be. Like we've seen this Nebraska defense in several games this year come out and be timid. They were scared of failure. Go out, play confident. If you make that mistake, do it confidently. And even if we're making those mistakes, I'll feel better about it. if it feels like this is where you believe you're supposed to be, and those things will flesh themselves out. And God, I feel like I'm making the Donnie Raiola argument. Things will get better as the season goes on. But with a first year DC, early mistakes are better than late mistakes.
Make your mistakes against Bowling Green.
Yeah.
That's who they got first, right? Bowling Green.
Yeah. Make those mistakes early and do them confidently. And then, when you get into Big Ten play, I'm not asking for perfection, but we absolutely need improvement.
So I know we already kind of talked about when you hire a guy like this, the assistants that they might bring along. And like, I was thinking to myself today, like, okay, so do you just bring over the San Diego State defensive line coach?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Do you just bring over their linebackers coach?
No.
And so that's another reason why my grade's probably not as high, is just like, usually if you hire a high level DC, you are letting them kind of dictate who they bring with them.
Yeah.
With this, it's like, okay, you're bringing Rob, but nobody else. And so Rob's not going to know Elijah Robinson. He's not going to know Addison. He's not going to know Dvoracek. And so that's kind of another reason why it's like, it's kind of very risky.
It's very risky. And on top of it, it's like the guy's like 38 or something.
Yeah.
He hasn't been coaching that long. What kind of connections does he have? It's not like Matt Rule has to go fill his whole staff for him, which we know how confident we are in Matt Rule's ability to hire coaches. It's not good. So I just, that goes into my grade. Like, I gave him a C. It's like, who are you going to bring with you? And that's players and staff. Nope, nobody. Because I'm sorry, the guys at San Diego State aren't good enough to coach in Nebraska.
And the players
that play at San Diego State aren't good enough to play at Nebraska. It's one of these. It's like, this guy better be a freaking boy genius. He better be the Sean McVay of defensive coordinators. If you're making this hire, this is the last defensive coordinator Matt Rule will ever hire. He's at Nebraska, because he's either going to get fired, or this is the guy that's going to be here for a long time until he gets a head coaching job.
Well, I hope I'm watching this defense as next year comes. I hope I'm watching this defense and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is like reminiscent of older black shirt defenses where they're flying around and they're knocking heads off, right? Yeah.
We talked about, I believe it was last week, we talked about updated Timmer ratings. The Timmer rating for me very much relies on this Oric hire. Because if this fails, how much more trust can there be? I mean,
right.
we've given a lot. And like, I'm down. I think the last number I gave was like a 5.8. That's the lowest I've ever been. Yeah. And so like, I'm above a 5, but only because I believed that Matt Rule has seemingly gotten to the point where he's quick to fix things. We saw an issue with Butler. We fixed it. But we can't do this every year. But
did he fix it?
I don't know.
That's the issue.
Yeah, well, we fixed the Butler part of the equation.
Yeah.
We subtracted one, but what did we add? And that remains to be seen. I think this is, Mike, like you said, this is his last DC hire. Because if this doesn't work, I mean, at least I'm not asking for the best defense in the nation. I'm not asking Oric to come back in and put up another 5 defense in the nation in the Big Ten. That's incredibly difficult to do. But if this isn't at least like a top 35 defense, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. I love the 4-2-5. I love it. Bo ran it when he was here.
Sure.
And we had some good defenses. We also had some defenses that gave up. Melvin Gordon's still running.
Hey, there he goes.
We had those.
He just ran past the studio.
But when I talked to a couple different people about what do you want in a DC and like what scheme would you like, and I said immediately I was like 4-2-5. Like, get the 4-man front. Go find. I don't remember what Bo used to call their nickel. It was like I I don't remember what it was called.
I know.
But
somebody in the comments will have it for you. In
yeah,
like 5
hopefully,
seconds.
hopefully somebody in the comments can have it. But like having that your nickel that can go down and that can play like an edge, can play a linebacker, can play safety, can cover out like a corner. Like we need to find a guy like that. And I don't know if they exist in the portal. And I know it doesn't exist on this roster.
No,
it does not exist on this roster.
We don't have a Dijon Gomes. We don't have an Eric Hake.
We do not have any of those guys
or
on this
a
roster.
Prince. I mean, we don't have a Prince. Oh my God, that 09 defense, man.
It was so good.
Like I know it's
The
kind
peso. The peso.
Peso.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, GBR 14.
I told you somebody in the chat would have
the
it.
peso. If
not
he has something like that,
Mm.
and we have to get that guy from the portal. If you're going to run a 4.25, if you have an elite peso or whatever this guy's going to call it, if Ulrich is going to call it something different, if you have an elite guy like that, and I thought McCullough could have been that on this defense.
I was just going to say Desan McCullough.
But he's been MIA. I don't even know if he's even on the. He apparently is going to the draft.
He
but
is,
he's
man.
played like 4 snaps the last 2 games, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
And apparently he's playing in the bowl game, so we'll see how that goes.
Did he tackle any white Iowa running backs or
No, he didn't tackle anybody. He was fucking terrible. He was so good. He was so good early in the year. So good.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I love 4.25. If you get the right guys to run it, it's fine. And I would love an extra guy on the defensive line because God knows you have those 3-man fronts in the red zone when you had your former defensive coordinator here, and people are literally pulling their hair out and screaming just all kinds of things at the TVs.
Okay, you say former defensive coordinator. He's not there. We're not giving him the bleep.
We're not giving the bleep. I just said former defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's not to that level.
We have a question in the chat that's pretty decent here. It says, honest question though, out of the DCs rumored, is this guy a disappointment compared to the Toledo or SMU DC? I don't think so. All kind of seems risky unknowns.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
And
where I would
yeah.
exactly what I would have said.
yeah, it doesn't matter if you got the guy that bolted for Syracuse, same exact situation, has not coached in the Big Ten. My requirement was get a guy that knows this league. And we didn't get that guy. And we didn't get a guy that also could bring a good staff. That's another strike 2.
I'll tell you.
We'll see if we get to strike 3.
Maybe I'm being crazy. I don't think there was ever a realistic route to getting a guy who knew the Big Ten.
We said, Leonard, we were pipe dreaming.
Yeah, there's no realistic route to getting one of those guys.
Right. Yeah, any of those guys. I mean, then who'd you have hired? I don't know. That's also that's not why I'm not getting paid millions to figure out who's going to run my defense. So the people that trust Matt Rule, that's cool. I'm at a C. I'm not writing this off.
You're a C minus.
C minus. I'm sorry. I'm not writing it off. I want to see a defense ripping heads off then. Because Rule even said it's not even about scheme. It's your attitude. If there's not an attitude flip and it's not noticeable, I'm going to be like, bro, why'd you hire him? What was the whole point? So any other,
No, nothing crazy in the chat. No super chats right now.
and the other thing too, is we didn't even talk about this, and it's going to dictate a lot of what we're able to do is the quarterback situation.
Yes. And we have a whole offseason to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well,
literally
that's
the
the thing.
next 5 weeks,
Do
there's
we-
going to be so much to talk about.
We don't even really have that much time because I feel like Dylan, we got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like we have to
needs
cement something.
I think that decision's been made.
I think the decision's already been made.
Right.
But I also think if it hasn't been made, Dylan needs to make that decision. Because I would imagine from the sounds of what Matt Rule said last week, it sounds like, they're challenging Dylan to play to his potential, which any school will do that. No matter where Dylan goes, whatever school he goes to, they need him to elevate his play because he has not played well enough.
It's almost as
Right.
if when he came here, our coaching staff was like, "Oh my God, thank you for coming. Thank you.
Yeah.
You could do no wrong. Let's blame everybody else. Dylan, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep working with Mahomes' coach." And now I think we've reached a point where Rule's like, you know what? Again, the Minnesota game was the wake-up call. We gotta figure this out. And if that means that Dylan either needs to get coached harder we need to place more demands on him, be more strict with what he does, right? You must lose 20 pounds or else. I don't think that's possible. I just feel like we've reached a point where we're even asking the prodigal son to abide by standards.
I think, in my opinion, the decision has been made, but let's say it hasn't. Dylan has had a very long time to dispel these rumors of his departure.
He has.
And he's not done that. And so either way for me, like every 24 hours that passes that he doesn't say, I'm staying with Nebraska, only reaffirms my suspicion that he's gone. And so again, I'm sure we'll talk about in the coming weeks about
plenty
the quarterbacks that might fit the system. I think Dylan's gone. I frankly think Latifah's gone. I think
let me ask you this.
Restart.
This question, I was just thinking of this. Do you hire Pillow Jeep if Dylan is your quarterback next year? Like I'm telling you, like Matt Rule says and does everything for a reason. Do you hire a offensive line coach like Mr. Pillow Jeep?
Gideon Pillow Wade the fourth.
Yeah, Pillow Jeep. Do you hire Pillow Jeep if Dylan's your quarterback next year?
Can I take you one step beyond that question?
Sure.
Do you fire Donnie if Dylan's your quarterback?
I think that had to happen regardless.
Yeah, but do you think that if Matt Rule and the coaching staff, if they were not pretty certain that Dylan was leaving, that they would have made that move? I don't believe so. We've talked extensively over the last few weeks about how close this family is and how much family means to them. And that if Donnie goes, or if Dylan went, Donnie would go. And whichever way it went first, that it was going to happen. So with the firing of Donnie, it seems like a foregone conclusion.
Did you guys not recall when Dayton decommitted? I sat here and said, they're all gone. The rail experience is over. I sat here and said that, and everybody said, "Oh, too soon." No.
At that time, I did believe you were too soon.
Yeah, and guess what? Mike's right again, probably. We'll get here.
Well, maybe.
We'll get here. And I just want to let you know, year 2025, Mike has been right so many times. It's insane.
Mike's a fucking. Look, man, you might be right, and it's kind of.
It's
the end of an era.
Do you?
I don't know. I need some time.
It had to happen.
But do you guys see it like I love Dylan Raiola. I have supported him in his tenure as a Nebraska quarterback so far. Mm-hmm. I would like to have him back next year. I would. I am not saying I want him to leave. I will say I'm not certain where he might land because of how he's played. He's not going like those Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State offers. Those are gone. He's not that caliber of a QB anymore. So is it in his best interest to leave? I have no idea. But I think that's something that at least as fans, we can consider as like, in his mind, does he see something that's more valuable than the love and fame he's gotten here? Like, he is a cult of personality here in Nebraska. Is he going to get that elsewhere? Is he going to have a better system elsewhere? I don't know.
It's the cult of personality, but it's for the good and it's for the bad.
Absolutely.
Right. Even if like Dylan likes it here, maybe he just needs to go somewhere else. Maybe he just needs a change of scenery.
Yeah. Get out of your comfort zone. I don't know.
And maybe they figured out that being at Nebraska is not the place to be if you're trying to be a pro-style quarterback. I've been saying this for a long time.
I still find it hilarious, though, because you could say that maybe Dylan hasn't reached his potential because of Raiola. And you can point the thumb and the finger, but they're going to both point at Raiola. It's crazy because his uncle was the reason that maybe he didn't have enough time to be successful. But then also there was times where he made his uncle look like shit because he held the ball too long. And that's why I said the Raiola experience, like, if it comes to an end, whatever. If he comes back next year, guess what? We're going to root him on because he's going to be our quarterback. But it's just one of those things, like, all these things, the Raiolas, they're a very tight-knit group. You would think that their dad might want him to go somewhere else to make it to the NFL. They think Dylan is good enough to be an NFL quarterback. And if it's not working here and they just fired his uncle and his brother's not coming here, maybe that's a sign that they think another school can do that better than us.
Someone asked me today, like, do you think, because we fired Donnie, and someone was like, do you think Dylan and Donnie will follow each other? Like, where is Donnie going to go?
He's going to be
nowhere.
The unemployment line.
Like, I mean, he's going to get hired somewhere.
If he wants to be.
But, like, are we talking G5? Are we talking San Diego State?
He's going to be the assistant line coach somewhere, because that's where he was before here.
Does he go back to the NFL? I don't know where he goes.
I don't mean to sound blasphemous, but Mike, something that you said about they believe Dylan's good enough to be an NFL quarterback and they need to find a system potentially that would fit him and help put him on that tape. I don't believe Dylan Raiola will be an NFL quarterback. I don't see it in his play style. I mean, again, I've harped on it for weeks that the pro style QB is dead. But even at that, without an absurdly elite O-line and absolute high tier NFL talent around him, I don't see Dylan Raiola as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he needs to go somewhere where it's warm and he can play a 7-on-7.
I think Dylan Raiola's ceiling, from what I've seen, and I do appreciate him, and I do want him to come back to Nebraska. I do. I think his ceiling is an upper tier college quarterback.
Maybe.
So the reason why I kind of brought up Dylan in the first place was to touch on the NIL situation, right? Because if he decides to go somewhere else, that's around
$3 million.
$3 million.
Yeah.
That's the number that we keep hearing around, Dylan, is $3 million. And so it'll be very interesting if we have an extra $3 million. Do we invest that in the lines? Do we go out and get a quarterback?
You have to get a quarterback.
Here's the thing. Do we get a quarterback who is a clear number one?
Yes.
Or do we get out and get a quarterback that is going to compete with Latif?
Nope.
Okay. Now let's see.
1 year rental.
Hold on a second. Let's get a clear number one. Sorsby, he would be a clear number one.
Yes.
Or
he
Levitt.
is demanding how much?
4, I think, right now.
4?
Yeah.
I heard it's like 8. Levitt's like 8.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm hearing.
So it ain't Levitt. Eat shit.
That's the thing is, are we going to have enough money to go out and get a clear number one who's going to be at least $5 million?
Well,
and go out and get whole new O-line, whole new D-line. I don't think we're ready for this conversation.
If you listen to Matt Rule, we've got all the money in the goddamn world.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost as if maybe that's.
I went on a rant about this the other night. Excuse my language. I am so fucking tired of being told that we're rich and not acting like we're rich. Let's go out and buy wins. This is the name of the game anymore. Go out. You're Matt Rule telling me we've got so much money. We can get what we need. Do it. Buy me a 9-win season. Buy me a 10-win season. I don't care if you have to spend $1 billion. Buy me a natty. Do what you say you can do. I'm tired of having someone talking this year saying we can do this shit and then not having it done. It's annoying.
Yes, Connor, you said last week, I want articles written. I want documentaries made about how dirty Nebraska got.
Yeah, I said
to buy a natty.
How irresponsible we spent money to go buy wins. I'm tired of hearing this.
I hear you.
And then not doing it.
It's not like people are giving Indiana shit for having Mark Cuban supporting them.
Yeah,
right?
Just do it.
Do it then.
There's a comment in the chat from Joseph.
Let's go.
The King Nebraska wrestling guy.
Yeah.
Joseph, we are watching Nebraska wrestling. I just don't know enough about it to talk about it. Okay. Now, and there's just so much other stuff going on. Okay.
Well, okay. Hold on. What's his name? Sorry.
Hey,
it's Joseph.
Just tell him Ferrari's going back to back.
Yeah.
Well, Ferrari's going back to back.
Joseph, here's the thing, Joseph. I know that they defeated Brown 44-3 or whatever. But one of the few times that I was paying attention, they got blasted by Nebraska got blasted. So I'm like, one of the few times I'm paying attention, they lay an egg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? I thought Tobias said this was going to be the greatest wrestling squad ever.
Damn Tobias, always derailing the show. He did have the reason I brought him up. He had a name in the chat, and I wanted to just ask you guys. So he said, and I doubt this is true, but he said Nico was in Lincoln this weekend. I highly doubt that. But if Nico was available, Nebraska should call immediately, right?
I'm not big on Nico.
No, I disagree. I think Nico would be a slam dunk.
I think Nico's a good quarterback. I'm not big on him. It's his on-field performance is good. I think, what happened over at UCLA this season was not necessarily his fault. I dislike, this sounds mean, who he is as a person.
Oh,
yeah.
What kind of person? I didn't know he had a. Well, I mean, he thinks very highly of himself.
Yeah, he's got a big ego.
You know who else does?
Dylan Raiola.
Diego Pavia. He's going to be in New York City.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But Diego, where's Nico? Is he in New York City?
No,
right.
Yeah, Diego deserved it.
I'm sorry. If we can survive the Dylan Raiola experience, I think we can handle the Nico experience, who has been humbled quite a bit.
Yeah, but I still think Nico has a compared to DR. I think DR, while he certainly has a little bit of an ego, I don't think it's anywhere close to what Nico is.
I want a QB with the fucking ego.
Yeah, I want a QB that can win me games.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a name that in my opinion,
I'd be down.
I'm all in.
I'd be down.
I'm all in because that tells me that you got the O-line coach to run an offense that would be very dynamic with a quarterback again.
Yes.
And we do know what that looks like. There will be an uptick in turnovers because we've seen that for a long time. We've seen that, Jared. I know you love it.
I do.
But you also were the first one that was sitting here screaming about Adrian. So there's that.
Yeah, well, get a quarterback that doesn't fumble as much. How about that?
Yeah,
how about that?
Hopefully Nico doesn't fumble as much, right? I don't know who the quarterback is.
Back in our heyday, we fumbled a lot. But here's the thing. We had a defense that forced a lot.
Yeah.
And with Rob, we're going to force a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, my number one QB is Sorsby. I mean, that just to make it short.
If I had to pick between Sorsby and Iomaliava, I'm probably taking Sorsby.
Well, I would take Sorsby because I've seen him with my own eyes in person, and on top of it, he would be like a 1-year rental, and then you got Trey Taylor next year.
Yeah,
that would be a good transition in my opinion.
Mike, to that point, I got shit for saying the exact same thing. Sorsby on a 1-year rental, and then in Trey Taylor, and I get asked do you really want to go back to a true freshman QB? Yes.
I don't care.
Yes, I do. And here's the other thing. I think Trey Taylor is coming here, especially at this moment, on the notion that as a true freshman, he's probably going to start. And you got all of these players following him. You have all of this young talent coming with. Why would you not want to put that guy in rotation immediately?
Top 5 class.
That would suck. We just had a comment in the chat.
For now.
It says Dylan to Indiana.
Fuck off.
You want to talk about a place that Dylan would thrive? Go play for Big Sig. And they are an Adidas school, so he could go there.
You know why? Because Big Sig would say, hey, Dylan, do this. Do it now. Here's your regiment. Go.
It wouldn't work, though, because if the family...
No. At that point, if he
goes there, Dom's he has to be shunned from the building. Dom
might have, listen, as much of a legend as Dom is here, he could not go to Big Sig's Indiana and start trying to wheel his influence around.
There'd be none. There would be none.
They would be. That's the thing is anywhere he goes, it's damn it. He's demanding a lot of money from the sounds of it. And it's are you worth that much? I don't know. Does Sig, would Sig take him?
Sig?
No, I'm talking about,
is Dylan worth $3 million a year? Even at Nebraska?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a dick.
He is. He's worth if $3 million. Let me put it this way: if Sam Levitt and Sorsby are supposedly going for around 8, Dylan is 100% a bargain at 3, in my opinion.
Sure.
If you look at the market rates,
Sorsby also at 8?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I thought Sorsby was
Hey.
a bit cheaper than that.
I thought he was at like 4.
How about
5,
this?
But
Nobody knows anything.
yeah, because
True.
none of that stuff's public,
Right,
and
nobody
that's why
knows.
there has to be bargaining, and there needs to be guardrails on this stuff, and they
I
won't
want
ever
the
happen.
shit public.
Yes,
It'll happen eventually.
Someday.
It'll happen.
someday.
They'll go to the 16-team playoff, and we will have, everything out in the open in terms of finances, right? It's going to happen one day. It's going to be like the NFL contracts. When's it going to happen? Who knows? But it's going to.
Okay. Speaking of playoffs, Mike, how long have we been going?
We've been going for
Hour 20.
an hour and 16 minutes. and
Okay.
I
So
think
speaking of playoffs, there is one Nebraska team, technically not a playoff, but a tournament that we have not talked about. That would
Volleyball.
be Nebraska volleyball.
yeah, look at this. Look at that. Bah, bah, bah.
Yep. Banger sweatshirt.
Thank you.
We did talk about Nebraska, continuing to just seemingly sweep their way through.
They're a wagon.
I apparently am the only one who filled out a volleyball bracket. I'm currently in second. Hold out hope for me, please. But I did bring up to you guys earlier an interesting statistic that I saw, that out of all volleyball brackets, it was 64.6% of all brackets picked Nebraska to win. The next closest team was at 9%.
Mhm.
That feels good, right? It feels good.
Respected.
Dude, Nebraska volleyball they're on a different level than everybody right now. The fact that it's still in the 60s is crazy, in my opinion.
I just recall a few years ago, Nebraska was a wagon going through everybody, and then Texas.
But they were not. They were also a wagon, though. There is not
They
another
were.
team like Nebraska this year.
No.
They're on a different stratosphere.
Yes.
And so it's unfortunate, but we're sitting here going, if they don't win a natty,
Oh, it'd be huge disappointment.
it'll be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yes, big facts.
Can we also talk about, and I'm talking about one specific play, Andy Jackson's backwards,
Yeah.
like backward. I thought it almost was a lift. It was not ruled a lift. Apparently,
No lift.
I was told that
No lift.
lifts really aren't called that much anymore.
At that level, no, not really.
No, but Andy Jackson's backwards point was just, I almost cried. I actually did yell out loud. It just feels like no matter how or whoever we put on that court, that we will outmatch whoever we want. It doesn't matter. There's just so much talent. Rebecca Alec hitting just absurd numbers. She's hitting in like the 480s, close to like at times in the 500s. It doesn't feel fair.
I just like how, DBK is going out there, got the awesome jacket.
Very
Right.
cool.
And like in post games, she's just like, do you have any worries about your? No,
Nope.
not really.
No, they're good.
Like
This is the most talent I've
We're
ever
good.
had as a coach.
she's just like, she's fully like on board. She's embracing like how amazing they are. And no, we're good.
Do you guys
Now just
think?
win a natty
What a natty.
because then it'll look a lot better.
Do you guys think, like, to me, this Nebraska team feels unconcerned, like almost a little lackadaisical, like not in their play, not in their effort, but they seem to just like they just go out there and do their job.
Well, I think that's the
that's
DBK
the-
factor is just
Yeah.
because I think with John Cook, I think
Yes.
he's a very serious guy and he's on the sidelines and very serious. DBK's laughing. She's having a good time. She's loosey goosey.
We'll
And
see. We'll see how goosey she is if we have to play Louisville because they're on our side of the bracket.
See, and that's the thing we got to
see-
be careful with is if she changes her demeanor
Yeah.
because of who they're playing, it's like, wait, why'd you change
I don't
up
think
on
she
us?
will though.
Hear
I
me
don't
out.
think she will.
I think
Yeah, right.
Louisville might be a little fraudy. They went to 5 sets
Yeah,
with Marquette.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah. So like Louisville, obviously a phenomenal team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not.
Meh.
They're very, very good.
They suck.
But I mean, making that run with a team like Marquette, who again, they're a good team. You made the tournament and
Suck.
you ran the race with Louisville. But Nebraska, I just think is again in a different level.
Yeah.
They're in the stratosphere.
Whoa. Show respect to the Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah, nobody cares about them. Maybe DBK. Okay, I think we've been going for an hour and 21 minutes. Let's wrap up the show with talking about the bowl game that Nebraska football has been selected to attend.
How about not?
Can I make it short?
Oh God.
It's gonna be an ass beating. We're gonna get our dick stomped in by Utah. That's it.
It's certainly
not the draw Nebraska needed on paper.
Was there like a draw? Like there wasn't really a draw that I felt was gonna be favorable.
Especially not this one.
No, this is like the worst.
Jeff Sims and Arizona State, but we got to play Utah.
Like Utah
who's
is
a freaking wagon.
Utah's the team I want to be. What they do, just run the piss down you.
Yeah,
what are they, second in the nation? Jesus.
Yeah, it's not going to go well.
And Kyle Whittingham, he's a really good coach.
Goat.
And probably it's going to be his last game. So guess what? There's your storyline. There's always a fucking storyline, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
For Penn State, they're playing for Terry. For Iowa, it's, Iowa.
Because they're playing Big Brother.
What's worse is, Mike, you texted about, like, who wants to go to Vegas? So I'll actually be in Italy when that game gets played. And the game will start about 10 p.m. that time. And I just know that as I'm in Italy, because I'm staying up to watch the game, obviously, I know that at midnight, Utah is just going to rush for like a 40-yard touchdown right as midnight hits.
I think you guys are not giving Mr. Snow his flowers.
I'm not.
They're going to change night and day. Maybe Coach Rob will come and help prepare for the bowl game because he's coming early. Maybe he'll help prepare for it, and this defense will just be world beaters, and you never know.
They're going to play so good that Rule's going to go to Rob and go, you know what? We got Snow. We're good. We don't need you. We don't need you, Coach Rob. Listen.
Yikes.
Listen. What?
You keep going.
You keep going.
Well, I don't really have much more. I wanted this to be a positive episode because we got a few new hires.
We did.
You know how it is with new hires. There's always a glimmer of hopefulness, right? So I think we kind of covered the hopefulness. We didn't say F for a guy with no Big Ten experience. We didn't say F.
No.
Right? I said C-.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be out there and you're complaining, oh my God, you guys are negative about Rob. Like, no, I said C-, man.
Dude, I gave him a C.
So
I gave him a C, and I gave you my concerns. If you think my concerns are outlandish, then you're probably outlandish as a fan.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't watched the last since 2014 Nebraska football, every new shiny toy is awesome, right?
Every new coach is
so
better
good.
than the old one.
The media is going to tell you how great they are and how good their resume is and why they fit perfectly at Nebraska. Okay, we're not here to do that. We're going to tell you why you should feel a little bit on edge about it. Like, okay, could we have done better?
Probably.
I said big time programs make big time hires. Is Rob Ulrich a big time hire? We don't know yet.
Yeah,
maybe. But
we'll see.
Hey,
if history repeats itself.
So we said it was going to be a positive episode. Do you guys want to know one big pro?
Yes.
That's Sinovation Omaha.
Hey.
That's Sinovation Omaha. Your image is their business. From eye-catching indoor and outdoor designs to clear professional wayfinding solutions, they're going to help you find your brand that stand out the way it matters the most. Transform your walls with stunning wraps, like the thing behind me right now. Turn vehicles into rolling billboards with custom decals, or add privacy and style with vinyl window graphics. When you partner with Sinovation Omaha, you're not just going to get signage. You're going to add curb appeal and create a lasting first impression for your customers. Shout out Sinovation Omaha. Again, being recorded from the Sinovation studio. All these beautiful wraps behind us. Shout out.
Shout out to Sinovation and shout out to the Colts for working out Phillip Rivers. That is awesome.
Dude,
Did you hear
there was a comment in the chat about that.
What's there?
From Jake Curtis.
Yeah. So I know he knows this. Obviously, Daniel Jones done for the season.
Yeah.
Anthony
done next season too. That Achilles.
Anthony Richardson still on the IR, and Riley Leonard, our third stringer, now battling a knee injury. as of this moment, if all of those things stand, do you know who the Colts starting quarterback would be?
Mike Delaware.
It would be Tyler Warren, our starting tight end.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Dallas Clark.
No, it's very
Marvin Harrison.
Peyton Manning.
Senior.
I really appreciated the first 8 weeks of the season.
It was fun.
But you know what's really fun? Jake Curtis in there commenting about the Colts. Hey, Jake, the Chiefs season is over. Go to bed.
Ooh.
Go to bed.
Ooh.
Speaking of going to bed.
Night.
Yeah,
Jared,
it's about time for us.
Will you put us
I'm
to
one
bed?
of your hosts, Jared Hall.
No.
NBNRpodcast.com, Spotify, YouTube. I said Spotify already. TikTok.
Facebook.
TikTok. Facebook.
Instagram.
Facebook's awesome. Just nothing but real news on Facebook all the time. No fake news whatsoever on
Never.
Facebook.
Not once. My dad asked me the other day, he's like, did you hear about that rule? And I was like, Dad, no.
What was the latest slop?
I don't remember what it was. I don't. It was so crazy. I'm like, Matt or Dad, that's not true. He's like, yeah, I saw it. I saw it on Facebook. Dad, you see this link that says like champions see, and then a bunch of letters, and it's like, I'll steal your identity. Yeah, that one. Don't click that one.
Yeah, don't do that
You know
one.
what the story probably was? Matt Rule donated his entire salary to
Oh my God.
the Somalian children of Minnesota. Just some shit. What's this country coming to?
Hey, you know what? Nebraska plays Wisconsin basketball on Wednesday. Fucking beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
10-0?
And we have 280 plus people in here.
Yeah, man.
If you don't already, subscribe to our podcast on YouTube.
Hit that like button.
Hit the like button. Subscribe, please. We do this every Monday. And we might do some counseling for basketball this season. I don't know yet.
We haven't had to.
We haven't had to because, it's been really good. And we can counsel people on the good stuff too. But there's a lot of basketball games. So we're going to figure that out. But we might do some basketball counseling episodes as well.
Like if things get interesting and it's like, oh shit, this team is, like last night probably would have been good because it's Creighton. Yeah. That would have been a good night, but whatever. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Connor Cavalack.
Mike Delaware.
As always, beat Wisconsin and GBR.
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.